Hi everyone. Today we are launching Podcast Insights on the Matterfact platform, a way for investors to mine insights from hundreds of podcast episodes featuring C-suite executives, industry experts, operators, and other investors. We build this for three reasons. First, investors rely heavily on expert calls to find differentiated insights across companies, executives, across different questions that they're looking at. But when we listen to these expert calls, we notice something surprising. A lot of these questions that people ask have already been answered on podcasts. Second, expert calls usually involve former executives. They never have current operators. Podcasts, on the other hand, do not have this limitation. They often feature current executives, operators. Third, podcasts are real time. You don't have to wait for weeks to find an expert. Experts get on podcasts immediately after major events, like after an earnings call or a geopolitical event. The insights are already out there, they're just hard to find. So we built Matterfact Podcast Insights for exactly this problem. We have transcribed over 120 million episodes across 700,000 channels, and you can search across them instantly. Let me show you a few examples. Our first example is a pretty broad question. Which industries have been impacted because of the Strait of Hormuz-Iran war? As you can see in the answer, we feature a lot of podcast episodes from which this answer has been sourced. And the answer contains industries from oil and gas to very interesting ones, like chemicals and fertilizers. Turns out Iran is like a big supplier of fertilizers across the globe. Second, let's do comparative analysis. Let's look at Snowflake versus Databricks. We ask this question: what do experts think of Snowflake versus Databricks? Where does each product win and where does each product lose? Let's go through Snowflake versus Databricks. They are both in the data platform industry, an industry full of technical jargon and very hard to understand. As you can see through the answer, we understand now that Databricks focuses a lot on unstructured data sets like PDFs, which is very good for AI workloads, whereas Snowflake exceeds on things like SQL databases and analytical platforms. Next, I want to show you a debate that was very hot on LinkedIn last week. How LLMs and AI are going to eat up a lot of the jobs. I wanted to understand how are people debating about this and what are their key points. As you can see in this particular answer, we asked for both sides of the debate. And it came up with people who are alarmists, who are saying that AI will eat up all the jobs, and people who are skeptical and saying that what markets adopt, new jobs create, new jobs come up all the time. Podcasts contain a lot of intelligence. But so far, they were unsearchable. We made it searchable for them so you can find insights for investing. Thanks for watching. Until next time.